it is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and it is the 9th of September. So the Scraptember prompt is stitching. And as you can see, I have definitely done some stitching. So we'll go over that in a second. Um, it is also the second Saturday of the month, which is when a bunch of friends and I get together and continue May I Scraplift You. So I thought, well, what a perfect person to scrapbook than one of the creators of Scraptember. So Scraptember was created by Laura Alberts and the Scrappy sisters, Katie and Jess. So what I did was I went on to the Instagram and saw what they did for stitching last year. And I saw this one from Katie, and I was like, okay, I have had this cut file from Paige Evans for over a year. And what I've been doing is like taking it on road trips and stuff and doing some stitching. So I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So for the past week and a half, I have slowly been finishing it. And so I am super excited that it's finished. It's not the same cut file as Katie used, but the idea is she stitched the whole background. And so I also stitched the whole background. So when I had cut it, it was a little offset, which is fine because then I got to trim it down. So I trimmed it down and I went through a couple of my papers in my How to Kill a Kit with Style to see which ones I wanted to use. I ultimately decided on this blue and white floral, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to gut it because I want to map my photo in it. And then I'm like, I really need a full piece of paper behind it to support all of this stitching. I don't want that to just be out of the page protector. I really, really wanted it to be glued down. So I contemplated not gutting the paper and just using a different paper, which would have been fine. So you saw me, I had like gutted half of it and then I stopped and I'm like, do I washi tape it back together? What am I going to do? Ultimately, I go ahead and gut it. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to put a white piece of cardstock on the back. So then it is a full 12 by 12 to back this. And I didn't get it on straight, of course, so I had to trim the sides a little bit. And then I am going to go ahead and adhere my stitched layout down. And I thought about using some wet glue, and then I was like, you know what, that might kind of buckle it. I don't know what it's going to do to the stitching. And I remembered I have this amazing tape. I actually got it when we toured Photo Play. It is from Basic, and it's like an inch, and it is like super, super sticky. So I decided to put several pieces, as you can see, on that background, and then stick it down, and I'm pretty proud of myself. It's pretty good all the way around. So I have this photo of my husband and I. This was on our recent trip to Hawaii. We got to go to the Big Island, and this is a picture of us at Rainbow Falls. We actually got to see Rainbow Falls twice. One day it was beautiful, and then we came a couple days later and they had a bunch of rain, so it was like super muddy, and so it's interesting. So I have a photo of that, so I'll do a little like comparison. And so you can see on Katie's layout, she has kind of a shelf here to hold her picture. So I am really trying not to cover up all of this work. I understand that you know, some of it's going to be covered up. Like that's just the way it is. If I had pre-planned it and hadn't been stitching on it for over a year, then maybe I would have known where not to stitch, but I didn't, and that's okay. So she has what looks to be like a 3x4 picture, so I did trim mine down and backed it in the background paper that I gutted. And then for her shelf goes all the way up, but I am just going to do a small shelf again to see more of more of my stitching. So I had 2 branding strips on my desk. One was from a prior project, and this blue polka dot one was actually from the background paper. So I'm going to go ahead and put those where Katie has hers. And then you can see in Katie, she's also got a cluster up there at the top. So I take the leftover branding strips from the shelf and I am going to turn those into banners and put them up in that right upper hand corner so I can start that cluster just like Katie's. So I am mainly using the Maggie Holmes Bloom sticker sheet, kind of because it's out and I really don't have any of Bloom left. And not that, you know, all of Maggie doesn't go together, but I'm kind of, you know, feeling like I need to use up my stuff. And I did have 2 of these sticker sheets, so I did use up one. So now I've just kind of decided I need to work on the other. So that's where I'm going to get my title that says All My Love. I'm also going to add a wreath bit on the top of my photo and then cut off the extra, and the extra is going to go in that upper cluster. And that upper cluster, I also add a couple of florals, a tiny heart, and a banner that says Dreaming of You. And then I'm going to do some minimal embellishing around my photo. I'm going to add just a couple of florals, one from the sticker sheet, one from, oh, my dog's going to bark because the mailman's here. Sorry about that. One floral, actually the rest of the florals that go on that are not from the sticker sheet are going to be from the open book collection, and I just have a little bag of all of those because I'm pretty sure I bought those florals like, I don't know, 4 times or something. So I needed a little something else. Now, I did want to do just a little bit of journaling. She doesn't have any spots of journaling on hers, but there's a little bit of journaling that I want to add, basically to just say where we are. I'm going to have lots and lots of layouts for this Hawaii trip. It may actually end up being its own album. I'm not quite sure. We'll see how it goes. I was looking through the pictures and I realized that I took a lot of scenery pictures, so I'm not so sure that those are going to require too many layouts. I may do some pocket pages, and I don't usually show those on my channel, but if that's something you're interested in, you can let me know. So I did add a couple of tiny word phrases from that sticker sheet as well. In the bottom it says beautiful. On top of my photo it says the best things in life, and the one to the side of the photo says more of this. So I am trying to add a little bit more color down to where those tabs are. I guess they're label stickers. So I wanted a leaf, and I'm going to go with this glittery one. And that is going to do it for this layout. Super simple, but definitely was time intensive. So I know the May I Scraplift You girls already have their videos up, so they will be linked down below, as well as the playlist for Scraptember. And I will also link the Scrappy Sisters so you can give them a little bit of extra love, since that is who I am scraplifting today. Yes, I love this layout. So I hope you have enjoyed this. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'd love to chat with you. Remember to wear your crown, and we'll see you next time. Bye.